Welcome to Pick Up and Deliver, the podcast where I pick up my audio recorder as I step off the train and deliver an episode to you while I walk home. I'm Brendan Riley. Well, good afternoon, listeners. It's a lovely day here in suburban Chicago. I'm on my way home from the train, and it is 80 degrees at the beginning of October. That's not the way it's supposed to be, but it is. So if I sound extra hot, it's not because I'm extra good looking. It's because the weather is swinging up. Although by the end of the week, it's supposed to be in the 30s or the 50s, I think, or the 40s. So I guess enjoy it while it lasts. Anyhow, it is October 2nd, the first day I had a chance to record a podcast since the month turned over, which means that it's time for our monthly Top of the Stack. For those of you new to the podcast, Top of the Stack is a monthly segment in which I talk about what games I played in the last month, talk about what the games I want to play in the next month, and go over the variety of different ways I track what I'm doing in my game playing and how I am progressing on various challenges I've given myself. I will say September was a fine month for gaming, but not a great month for meeting these challenges, so we'll see how I did. All right, so we'll start with monthly stats. I played 73 plays of 43 different games for a total of 758 plays of 259 games this year. My shelf of opportunity went up this month from 61 to 65 games. Because I picked up a few games and got hardly any of them knocked off the list. My collection size actually went down from 572 to 571. So I picked up some games, added new games to my shelf of opportunity, but I also did get rid of some games so to keep my collection size relatively small. My most played game on the table was Arkham Horror, the card game with 3 plays. My most played game online was Obsession with 6. I ended up playing Obsession 6 times because I have one friend, Eric. Hi, Eric. I don't think he listens, but just in case, who's been interested in it lately, so we've been playing it a lot. And then one of my other groups that I play with also drifted into it. So I had two different groups playing it a couple times each. For my top of the stack, I had 4 games chosen. As always, my goal, I consider it a successful month if I play 3 of the 4. The 4 games I chose were Vagrant Song, Terraforming Mars, Hunted, Woad Ridge, and Revive. I'm pleased to say that I did get to play Terraforming Mars, and I did get to play Revive, although we did make a crucial mistake in that play, so I don't count the scores from that game, but we did play it. And then I did not get a chance to play Woad Ridge, and I did not get a chance to play Vagrant Song. So I played 2 of the 4, which is 2/3 of a success, which is actually my average. Thus far this year, I've played 18 out of the 27 potential games, so exactly 2/3. At this point, it's probably not possible for me to catch all the way up because I only have 3 months left, and I can only gain back one game per month if I play all 4. So I guess my goal will be just to do as well as I can, but I can't get all the way back to 36 out of 36, which would be the top score for the year. Oh, I could add 12, but I'm at 18. So the best I could do if I managed to play October, November, December and hit all 4 is 30 out of 36. The odds aren't good of that, so I'm just going to do my best to keep doing 3. I tried a few new games this month, not as many as I often do, but nonetheless, I was no slouch. There's been a Murder, Mind Management, Poetry for Neanderthals, Sweet and Spicy, Revive, Astra, and Paku Paku. I did not try any new expansions this month, so that's a whiff. I didn't dust off very many games. As of the end of this month, going into this month, I had played 84 new games. As of the end of the month, I've played 91. So on my way to, it's fun to do 100 or I guess 104 would be 2 a week. That's a good goal to have, and I should make that without too much trouble, I think. Out of the dust plays, I came into the month having played 46 games that I dusted off. And I dusted off New York Slice. 6 years ago, I had played that. Rainbow Rabbits, 1 year, 9 months. Perudo, 2 years, 3 months. And Axis and Allies Guadalcanal, which had been 3 years, 9 months. Over those 4 games, that puts me at 50 games this year dusted off. So that's pretty good. If I'm dusting off 1 a week, that's a very healthy rate. Actually, at this rate, I'm going to end up with much more than 1 a week. So I'm pleased with that. In the 10 for 10 challenge, I did not make much progress, but I did play 1 Tom Lehman game, which got me to 5 Tom Lehman games. I did play 1 game of Res Arcana on the table with my daughter. In my 52 game challenge last month, I acknowledged that I only played a couple last month, and I said now I'm going to have to really be very thoughtful about which games I play because everything in here is difficult to do and you have to really think through it. That is certainly the true. This month I did not make much effort to make sure that I played any games from that list, and in fact I did not. So I'm still at 39 out of 52, which means if I want to get those other 13, I'm going to really have to buckle down and do one a week, basically from here on out. I think it's doable, but problematic. My painting challenge this month, I was going to do some Hellboy minis, finish the Nazis from Hellboy, and then start on the Cerebria minis. I did not get any of those done either. No progress on the minis painting at all. Hellboy not painted at all. I think what I'm going to do is put the Hellboy minis away, see if I can make some work on the Cerebria minis, and then when I finish those, I'll go back to Hellboy. Should be doable. So my shelf of opportunity got bigger this month again. I added 5 games to my shelf of opportunity. That's Palaces of Carrera, 5 Minute Mystery, Hadrian's Wall, Joan of Arc, and Paku Paku. And the only one I played from there is Paku Paku. So I didn't make great progress on the shelf of opportunity. I did, of course, play Revive as well. So I'm at 64 games on there. My collection size is at 570. I came in with it at 572. Like I said, I got rid of a few games. Namely, I gave 5 games to my son's board game club from his school. Indigo, the How I Survived game, Mr. Lister's Quiz Shootout, Dread Curse, and this game goes to 11. Those were all donated to the high school board game club. Give them some other games to play. I also removed 4 games from my collection because I was updating my collection cards and I discovered there were some games that I had removed from my collection but had not marked as removed from my collection. Namely, Hues and Cues, I sold that. Mammut, Time's Up, and 3 Laws of Robotics, I donated to my college board game society. So those are actually in my office at school, but I don't think of them as part of my college or my home board game collection anymore because I don't have them at home. All right, the last thing to share is my top 50 challenge. Once again, the goal is to play every game from my top 50 in the 2 years between when I do my top 50 and when I refresh it. This year, I had 12 left to go going into this year, and I played Terraforming Mars, which is one of those. So the ones I have left are Android Netrunner, Vampire: The Eternal Struggle. Both of those are going to be really hard to play because they're collectible card games or, lifestyle games, and if I'm not into them right now, it's really hard to pick up and play them. Netrunner would be easier because of Jinteki.net, and Null Signal is still active. I think people are still playing Vampire as well, but I don't know how to hook up with those folks. I think the odds of me playing Vampire are pretty slim. Netrunner is probably pretty slim as well, but we'll see. I might get up the gumption to do it. Which leaves Cerebria, A Touch of Evil, Terra Mystica, and Trismegistus. So that would be 1 game a month for October, November, December, and a second game in one of those months. I think this first month, I'm going to play Cerebria and A Touch of Evil, hopefully, and that will get me back on pace. All in all, it was a good month for gaming. I really had a fun time engaging with those games. I'm starting to think toward what games I'm going to play for next month. So as I look toward to October, I'm sure I'm going to play a number of spooky games at my board game club. My college board game club will be meeting twice, and I'm going to bring some spooky games for them to play. I'll bring Till Dawn. I'll bring Gloom. We'll play, hopefully, Betrayal at House on the Hill, and maybe Mysterium. Those are all spooky options. I was also thinking about The Bloody Inn. I'd be interested in something more elaborate like The Fury of Dracula, but we can't do that in the space and with the people that we have coming to that club. I could try Dead of Winter, but I'm not sure the group would be interested in that. I also don't have a reliable sense of people arriving on time. So like if somebody comes an hour late, it kind of stinks in a small group to have started a long game because then they just can't play. So we tend to play games that are shorter so people can cycle in. But anyway, so on my list of 3 this month, my four games on the top of the stack. First is a game I borrowed called Last Friday. Last Friday is a game in which you play it's a 1 versus many game. One player plays a stalker horror monster like Jason from Friday the 13th. In fact, it's called Last Friday because that's the idea. And then the other players play campers who are trying to outwit Jason and defeat him. It's supposed to be pretty cool. It looks interesting. I'm not sure it'll work for Board Game Club because I don't know how many it plays, but I'm going to try to bring it this week and see if people want to play it. If I'm not able to play it there, then I definitely want to get it played at Toggle because I borrowed it from somebody and I need to return it. But also, I put it on top of my stack, so now I gotta. Next up is A Touch of Evil. A Touch of Evil is one of my favorite. It's my favorite of the Flying Frog games, although Last Night on Earth is a close second. A Touch of Evil, you are investigators in a colonial village and you're trying to stop a big bad. It's goofy, it's silly, it's fun, and I really enjoy playing it. I think we're gonna try to play it at Toggle. I have the whole game, and so we'll set up all 3 boards, and everybody will grab an investigator, and we'll all have a rip-roaring good time. For my solo game, I left Hunted Woad Ridge in the list. It is a game I want to play, and it fits Spooky Month because it is set sort of around a Stranger Things type situation, so playing it in that perspective would be just fine. Finally, I also kept in there Vagrant Song, the other one from last month that I did not play. It is also spooky themed. It's about a ghost train and people trying to stop a ghost train or something. So I'm happy to give that one a try as well. I'm hoping we get to play that as a family, though when we'll do that, I'm not sure. So those are the 4 games that I have going this month on my top of my stack. All in all, it's been a pretty good year for game playing so far, but I feel like I've really been neglecting my shelf of opportunity. I was looking back and I have very few games that were on the list on that shelf at the beginning of the year that I played this year, which feels wasteful to me. So I really want to start putting effort into getting those played at least once, and then if I don't like them, I can put them on the sell pile or trade them away. So how did your gameplay go in September? Did you play all the games you intended to? If not, which ones did you fail to get played? Head over to Board Game Geek Guild 3269 and share your month's triumphs and tragedies. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can email me, brendan@rattleboxgames.com. You can send me a message on Board Game Geek. Wombat929 is my username there. Or you can reach out to me on Board Game Arena or yukata.de. In both places, Wombat929 is my username, and I would love to play a game with you. In particular, I'm keen to hear what spooky games you think you're going to play this month. Share them over in the guild. Thanks for joining me on my walk today. I hope that your next walk is as pleasant as mine was. Bye-bye.
Brought to you by Rattlebox Games.